OUDENARDE, 1708. The Battle of Oudenarde came in the nick of time to rally the morale of the Grand Alliance after a series of disasters which lasted throughout 1707 and into the early months of 1708. The Duke of Marlborough was extremely despondent about the general situation until he was joined by Prince Eugen, though not the imperial army, on July the 9th at Ache. Heartened by the prince's robust confidence, Marlborough devised a bold plan to defeat Vendôme's army as it prepared to besiege Oudenarde. On the night of July the 10th, the Anglo-Dutch army made a forced march to surprise the French. The ensuing battle was more a contact action than a set-piece engagement, and in this lies much of its modern interest. Marlborough took a great risk when he ordered the main body of the army to follow Cadogan's advance guard over the Scheldt at a point halfway between the town and the French forces drawing up behind the river Norken. But the gamble succeeded. At first the French were too surprised to react, and the Duke profited from their inaction to hurry fresh battalions over the pontoon bridges. He was further aided by dissension between the two French commanders, Vendôme and Burgundy, which resulted in half their army being kept out of the battle. This gave Marlborough just enough time to reinforce Cadogan sufficiently and enable him to hold his own against first General Byron and thereafter Vendôme in person. A bitter and fluctuating struggle developed around the villages of Ain, Oirne and Grunewald, which lasted from 3 p.m. to nightfall. But the Duke was always at hand with fresh units to extend the Allied battle line as new French formations came into action. Command of the crucial right flank and center was entrusted to Prince Eugen. Marshal Vendôme, infuriated by Burgundy's intransigence, forgot his role of commander-in-chief and plunged into the battle, pike in hand. Judging the moment for victory to be close, Marlborough sent General Overkirk and the young Prince of Orange on a long detour through Oudenarde to the Beauser-Coulter high ground. This move through that ground went unnoticed by the French right and center, who suddenly found themselves assailed in flank and rear by the Dutch and Danish troops, whilst Eugen launched a desperate charge against their left. By 8 p.m., almost half the French army was virtually surrounded, but Marlborough was forced to call a halt as dusk deepened into night, and many of Vendôme's men escaped through a gap in the encircling troops. Nevertheless, the result was a notable victory which once again shattered French morale, and eventually led to the recapture of Ghent and Broux and to the fall of Lille, the second city of France.